I'm Alice Rawsthorn, and I write about design, specifically about design as a social, political and ecological tool. I was the design critic of the New York Times for many years, and I now focus on books, the most recent being Design as an Attitude. I'm also co-founder of Design Emergency, a research platform into design's potential to help us to build a better future. Design has always been absolutely central to feminism and indeed to gender politics, not simply in terms of binary definitions, but also of trans and queer culture too. The feminist agenda of design has been absolutely crucial in highlighting design injustices. For example, when cars are designed, they tend to be tested for safety by crash test dummies that are modelled on an archetypal cis male body, which means that statistically women are significantly more likely to die in car crashes or be seriously injured by them than men. Well, I've chosen a portrait of Agnes Garrett, who was a pioneering woman designer in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and I find her to be an inspirational woman in every way. She's photographed by Olive Ennis, not a particularly well-known photographer, but she took some wonderful portraits of Agnes Garrett and other women in the women's suffrage movement. Her parents passionately believed in girls' education, so encouraged their daughters, who included Elizabeth Garrett Anderson, one of the first female doctors in this country, and Millicent Fawcett, the suffragist, to get good educations. Agnes passionately wanted to become an architect, as did their impecunious distant cousin Rhoda. Agnes and Rhoda wanted to become apprentices with architects in London and failed dismally to persuade any of the obviously male architects to take them on. Eventually, they managed to convince one to do so, and he did on condition that they didn't go anywhere near building sites, which were considered far too dirty and unladylike for them. So they completed their apprenticeships and were the first, what were called lady decorators in London. And so they pioneered a much simpler, more robust, easier to clean and maintain style of interior. They wrote about it in books and gave public lectures all over the country. They were very, very popular. She lectured on votes for women across the country. She was a hugely charismatic and energetic figure. And she also co-founded with Elizabeth the Ladies' Dwellings Company, a series of ladies' residential dwellings, many of which still exist throughout London. And these were homes for single professional women to enable them to work within the inner city and to thrive in their careers. One of the reasons I love writing about design is that throughout history it has always been in the forefront of change. During periods of change, when new disciplines, new sectors, new concerns and issues are emerging, that's when the outsiders tend to come to the fore. And design has changed radically and dramatically in recent decades, not only because of digital technology, because it's responded to every other change at this extraordinary, turbulent time.